Namaste, friends. Let us get all our doubts clarified with regard to fermentation and microorganisms. Not all microbes are bad for us as we believe. In reality, the disease causing pathogens are in minority compared to the beneficial or friendly microbes, and they play their specific roles. Like the Neisseria meningitidis bacteria can cause meningitis disease, while a friendly bacteria, Neisseria lactamica, can protect us from the same disease, meningitis. In fact, these tiny microbes run this whole world. They are present everywhere and are in trillions in number. They are present inside our body, on our skin, in the mouth, digestive tract, and everywhere. And they perform all the functions in our body from digestion to improving immunity, producing hormones, cell communication, and so much more. And we are more of a microbial body than human body as we think. Now, during the process of fermentation, these microorganisms produce various metabolites, which are the byproducts of the process that have various acids, alcohols, flavonoids from fruits and vegetable peels that help to boost our immunity, act as anti inflammatory compounds, and improve our health. So, maintaining a symbiotic relationship with these microbes is very important for us. We can include various fermented foods in our diet based on our different cultures because our health completely depends on how diversified our microbiome is. When the right environment is maintained, it is definite that only good bacteria will grow in the cultures. Now, what we have been doing in making these eco friendly cleaning products or probiotics is we are taking the help of these good bacteria present in the peels of fruits and vegetables using the process of fermentation. But consuming the fresh fruits and vegetables also would provide us the necessary beneficial bacteria to us. Now, fermentation is a natural process that undergoes everywhere in the environment. So, if we just leave a banana there, it starts to ripen day by day and then it starts to rot and decompose. But the same banana, when we grow it as a culture, maintaining optimum environmental conditions, keeping it in a dark place, using the right amount of ingredients, maintaining proper space inside the container, then there won't be any growth of unwanted microbes. And we will get a beautiful banana vinegar like this. As shown in the picture, these are the different microbes that are grown when the conditions were not maintained. So we can find all this colorful, powdery, hairy, green, black, orange colored, or white, slimy microbes growing there. We can very easily identify them just by looking at their appearance and their smell. On the other hand, the CAM yeast that is found in our alcoholic or acetic acid fermentation is they will have little yeast flavor to it, little creamish to white in color. It will be like a thin layer, sometimes with the bubbles of carbon dioxide gas. But there are no studies showing that cam yeast would cause any harm to us. Always maintaining the peels below the liquid portion of the culture is the best way to avoid all the unwanted growth of pathogens. Any glass weights like this can be used to submerge all the peels inside the brine. Regular shaking of the container in lactic acid fermentations and stirring of the peels and pushing them down is very important for the first 2 weeks in acetic acid fermentation. Also, if we don't maintain proper space inside the glass jars, the pressure built up due to the gases will lead to breakage of bottles and all the mess is created. While making vinegars, what we call as bioenzymes, initially the carbohydrates from the fruits and vegetable peels are converted into alcohols, and this is done by the yeast present in the peels, where we close the lid of the container and undergo the fermentation process. Later, after a month, when we change it to a cloth, then the aerobic fermentation takes place where the alcohol is converted into acetic acid. And this is done by Acetobacter bacteria. And as a final byproduct, we get this beautiful cleaning agent as vinegar. And all this is done naturally by these microbes. They just feed on the sugars of these fruit and vegetable peels and give us wonderful and useful cleaning products to us. Then, in lactic acid fermentations, in which the lactic acid bacteria present in the fruit and vegetable peels will feed on the sugars and produce the lactic acid. Okay, and it is produced in all these fermentations that we do, like the milk is converted into curd or idli batter or fermented rice. All these come under lactic acid fermentation. Here we use salt to ferment the culture. Salt inhibits the growth of various harmful pathogens, and that is the reason why we use salt while pickling our fruits and vegetables. Now, very interesting thing that I have found is the lactic acid fermentation method is being very useful for making our cleaning products as well. There is very less chance of contamination, even the cam yeast is not being formed. Lactic acid bacteria especially has high tolerance to acidic and alcoholic pH levels, and we are able to get very clean and green cleaning products. Adding the prepared product as starter culture for making the next batches of cultures will make the process of fermentation faster. We would require less salt or even no salt for this process. Anytime if you have a doubt about the purity or contamination of the product, just check its pH. If it is 4 or below 4, it is always safe to consume. See here, the pH strip color shows below 4.5 pH, while the earlier case it was greenish color which showed alkalinity, that is, the product was spoiled. Also, always use well sterilized glass containers for fermentation. Plastic containers are also okay to use if it is for making cleaning products. I hope all your questions with regard to fermentation and making all Unify eco friendly products are cleared. If you still have any more questions, please contact Unify Eco Friendly Products Telegram group and all your questions will be answered. Thank you.